Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Christy and this is Christy's Pause. On this channel I film content about faith and our lifestyle in Saskatchewan, Canada as new immigrants. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming to watch. And if you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Christy and on this channel I film content about faith and our lifestyle in Saskatchewan, Canada. If this sounds like something you might be interested in watching, I think you are. I actually think you're interested in watching more of my videos, so I suggest strongly that you click on the subscribe button and you also turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when I upload new videos. Thank you for joining the family. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So guys, I've gotten this question a number of times and I just decided to come on here and do this short video about it. And the question is, which province should I come to? Or which province do you advise that I come to? Or even in the same province, which city do you advise that I come to? And I just felt, okay, I'll just come here and do this video about this question. So in coming to a province, the first thing you want to consider is your opportunity, because that's like, I'm talking about the job market, like your opportunities for getting a job. So for some of us that came in through provincial nomination, that's like almost decided for us. Like we can't try going to other we can't try living in other provinces, except like we've tried getting an opportunity. And even now, this corona time, there are a lot of remote jobs, so you necessarily don't have to stay out of the province that nominated you. Like it is you have to, you need a very strong excuse to leave your province like within some months. I'm not sure how long it is for different provinces, but I know that if a province nominates you, you are expected to stay in that province for a number of years. And even now that there are remote jobs, you hardly have an excuse to want to live in another province apart from the one that nominated you. So even in determining which city to live in the province that nominated you, the first thing you want to check is, what are your opportunities for getting a job? You know, there are some cities or some provinces that are known for some kind of businesses, for some kind of job opportunities, and you want to check, okay, so this is what I have experience in, or this is what I'm coming in as. Which province, which city has, you know, more of these opportunities, like in demand? Which city is known for this kind of things? I think Ontario, for example, is known for all the IT. Like Ontario seems to be like the highest employer for those kinds of line. And Saskatchewan is known for agriculture. I think Alberta is also known for agriculture. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you don't have skills in these fields, you will not get a job. But it just seems to be like when you have skills in these fields, you're able to get jobs faster in those provinces. So you want to look at, okay, so what are your chances of getting a job? Like, what are the opportunities in those provinces, and how does it like apply to you? Which one is like which one do you have experience in that you will quickly fit in? I think Saskatchewan is also known for administrative government jobs and all that. So the long and short of all this is just to, you know, check opportunities in the province where you plan to, you know, move to, and just consider if the opportunities that are most prominent in that province is something you have an experience in, and if it is going to be at least relatively easy for you to get something doing in that province. So the next thing you want to consider is the cost of living, like the cost of things, accommodation, groceries, the cost of, you know, all the basic things, the cost of I know there's one province that they said to get of course they don't sell land, to get like a house in some provinces is like you are cutting off one arm. And one, you want to also check cost of living, like in all aspects. How easy is it to get, you know, things done? How is it easy to get cost, generally cost of living, cost of, you want to check the cost of living. And like, it is very, very important. The first on the list when I'm looking for cost of living is accommodation. I want to check what is the accommodation like. Don't let me go and find somewhere that I will use on my POF to do rent or to so you want to check the cost of living. You want to check, of course, cost of living will also affect transportation costs. Most likely, I know that what I pay to to take the bus is $83 per month. I know that it will be more in some other provinces, and it might be less in some other provinces, but that's also a cost of living. All those things, you want to check them to ensure that they are, what it will be easy for you to, deal with and meet the financial needs. Guys, before I came in, I'd always assumed that once you come in as a student or you come in with your work permit, it is very, very easy. Like, it is like the next step is to get your PR like approved. Like, it is like the next thing, and it happens. Like, I assumed I assumed it was like something that was not going to be stressful, but I've met with like 2 people now, and I realized that it's not like just a straightforward application. It's not a straightforward process. So one other thing you want to confirm before you move to a province is their PR process for their, like international students. Like, if you come to their province as an international student, what is their process for, giving you, like, approving your permanent residence application? Because I don't know, except you want to come to Canada to study, and after 3 years or 1 year of your study, you want to go back to whichever country you come from. If that's the plan, then this might not be like something you consider. But if one of the reasons you are coming in is to get your permanent residence application approved, then you also want to confirm the process for the province you are moving into. What's their process? How easy it is? What's the cost like? How long does it take to get permanent residence application approved? Because if your future, is it long-term goal they used to call that thing? If your long-term goal is to become a permanent resident, you want to consider that, because it is very important, or else you might end up, being frustrated after you are done with school, and the process of getting your PR is taking like longer than you think it should, or longer than you expect, because of the laws of the province where you schooled. Guys, can you see my jollof rice at the back? This was another jollof rice cooking day. So one other thing you want to consider to decide on which province to move into is the tax. If costs is something you are trying to reduce as much as possible, you want to consider the tax that is applicable in each province. Surprisingly, it is different for each provinces. I don't know why. I'm not sure why it is like that. But it's different for each province, and I think Saskatchewan is just like relatively in the middle. There are some provinces that pay higher. Saskatchewan, the tax we pay in Saskatchewan is 11%. There's 5% GST and 6% HST or something, or the other way around. But the total you pay on the goods you buy, on your goods and services, is 11%. And there's some provinces that are as low as 5%. I think that's Alberta. And there's some provinces that as high as 15%. Do you want to guess which province that has 15% tax rate? Do you want to guess? You guessed Ontario, right? You are wrong. It is not Ontario, it is Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia's tax rate is 15%, and that's what you pay on your goods and services. And we also get rebates, like we get some payback, is it cashback we call it? I don't even know. But we get paid back some taxes, like after, I don't know how the calculation is done. I'm going to have to learn that and see if it's something I can share or something. But we get paid back some. So I am also assuming that the more tax you pay, the more you get back. But I'm not sure how that works. But if you are big on saving costs and all, you might want to consider the tax, the tax that each province pay, in order to determine which province to stay in. Guys, before we continue, I'm holding on for 2 seconds for you to click on the subscribe button. Oh, sorry, I said 2 seconds. I'm holding on for 5 seconds. But really, click on the subscribe button. Click on the subscribe button. Thank you. Click on the... Thank you, guys. And please turn on the notification bell. If you have not liked this video, click on the like button. One other thing you might want to consider before you move into a province is their weather condition. I know that everywhere in Canada is cold, but there are some places that are very cold. And Saskatchewan, I heard, is one of the very cold places. There are some places in Canada that are not as cold as Saskatchewan, and there are also some north region, I think, that are also colder than Saskatchewan. So you want to consider how much of cold can you deal with. How much of cold can how much of cold can I allow to stay in my body system? Like, you want to consider the weather. Like, it's very important. If I know some people can't. I used to have a colleague back in Nigeria that we used to tell her, you cannot relocate to Canada because she's always complaining of cold. She's always saying, she's cold. So if cold is something you definitely do not want to be friends with, well, any province that you relocate to in Canada is cold, but there are some provinces that are colder than the others. So you might want to confirm, or if it's not like a deal breaker for you, you might take this out. But if cold is something that is a big deal for you, like you want to come to Canada, but you don't want to be in the coldest of places, then you might also want to consider which province is still a bit relatively not so cold. You get what I mean? It is relatively not so cold because everywhere is cold. So talking about weather conditions and that determining which province you stay in, I discovered British Columbia from looking around, from searching, like, okay, so which province has like the mildest weather when it comes to cold. I discovered British Columbia has the mildest. There's still winter, but it's not as cold as other provinces. And so if cold is like a big deal breaker for you, you might want to consider British Columbia. One other thing you should consider in determining which province to move into is the minimum wage. Yeah, I'm not sure how. I'm not sure, but I think the minimum wage in Nigeria is the same across board. Please correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. I don't know. I think the minimum wage is like the same across board. Yeah, I think it's the same across board. But here, different provinces have different minimum wages. And I think it's just something to match with the cost of living in each province. So I think it just makes sense. If the cost of living in one province is higher than the other, then the minimum wage should also be higher. I shouldn't be earning the same. And really, provinces want you to stay in their province. Like, each province wants people to stay there. So anything to make life easier for the residents of each province. So if I'm going to be spending more on cost, on accommodation, on food, on everything, I should also earn more. Don't you think so? So you might also want to consider, as you're considering the cost of living in each province, it's also like it's also expected, it's also okay, it's also fair that you consider the minimum wage, because it is different for each province. What is the minimum wage? And just to consider that alongside with the cost of living in that province. You might also want to consider, in case you have a relative in Canada, you also want to consider staying in the province where you have a relative or a friend, because especially if it is a friend or a relative, like, you get what I mean. I want to consider staying in that province because it helps a bit to have people that you know already in the province where you want to move into. They help you like settle in and all that. So like someone said, to say the long story in a short form, you need to consider a variety of things in order to determine which province to live in. It is not something somebody can just tell you, like, stay in this province. A number of things, a number of factors has to come to play, which you most likely have the answer to, what those factors mean to you in order to be able to choose which province to live in. It's not something you can just make a decision by, especially if you are coming with a pathway that would allow you to choose which province to live in. You want to consider the factors that are most important to you and allow that to help you determine where to live in. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching till this point. I hope I helped in a way. In case there's anything at all you liked in this video, please click on the like button. And in case till this point you have not subscribed to the channel, Is there a reason why you have not? Reason why? Is there a reason you are not subscribed? Yeah, honestly, let me know. I know whatever reason you tell me is something that will help me improve. But really, if there's no reason, hit that subscribe button right away and turn on notification bell. Thank you. Till we meet in the next video. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful life. Bye, guys. See you later. Bye. Bye. Me and my dimple are saying bye.